Hey Trailblazers, Layla here. I hope you guys are doing fantastic and that you've had a brilliant weekend, great week so far as well. So I'm back with something new and we hope you're going to be doing this on a Monday. So on a Monday, expect to see new videos from me all about the Mindset Makeover. So I was just feeling really inspired the other day about trying something different. I like to keep myself on my own toes, and I do get bored really, really easily. And I know you guys appreciate the posts that I share in this group. And I just thought to myself, let's try something different. We're still going to have the Trailblazer challenges, probably on a Tuesday, because I think they're really, really powerful reminders to everybody just to kind of step up their game a little bit more and to remember that, that there is always a way out of any obstacle or challenge. So on Mondays, we're going to now have the Mindset Makeover. And this is where I'm going to just share with you some mindset tools. We're going to have a bit of a chat, and I'll just share with you some of the kind of psychology, the spirituality, and the mindsets behind kind of up leveling our lives and reaching our next level. So, got a bit of an itch. I think there's some dust in this room, which is really just getting up to my nose. So this first one is going to be about changing our story. I've just had an absolute amazing meeting with somebody. So I'm in London. I had a session last week where I taught about mindset and well-being in business and how it's really, really important that you're taking care of your mental well-being, regardless of whether you're a business owner, a professional, a parent, carer, and so on. You've got to take care of your mindset. And I had an amazing kind of chat and meeting with one of the attendees. And I won't go into detail of, obviously what we talked about. But one of the themes that really came through was really about changing your story and how who we are at one point in time is who we were meant to be. Yeah. And life brings us all these experiences, these challenges, these, events, situations, scenarios, people into our lives who may impact us in a negative way or in a positive way. And that's kind of the way that, humanity is set up and our human life experiences are set up to meet different people at different points for a reason. And the reasons can actually extend very, very deeply and very, very profoundly into unique lessons for each and every single one of us, so that we evolve into becoming the pure soul that we essentially are, vibrating at our essence and so on. What can happen is when we've had really, awful experiences happening to us, whatever they might look like. Yeah, so for you, whatever an awful experience or a challenging experience or an obstacle looks like, that's got to be honoured. Yeah, because for one person it might mean nothing, for another person it might be the end of the world. Literally, it is what it is for each person. But what happens with these obstacles, with these scenarios and these situations, is that if our mindset is not in a place to kind of learn and to progress and process through the situation, through the event, we end up locking that experience into our kind of muscle memory, into our emotional world, into our mental world. And that's not what really our mind is for. We're actually supposed to move through situations as they happen, and take the learning and the wisdom as we go along. I'm going to give you an example actually. So a few weeks ago in Edinburgh, there was a situation where somebody actually broke into my building, and he's an ex-prisoner. Never met him. Well, I've seen him once before, and he's actually related to my neighbours who are downstairs. And so this person, this man, he's essentially broken into my building, and I'm upstairs, sleeping, and he's actually started to essentially live in my lobby. So this only happened about 2 weeks ago. Now, if he was living in the lobby and just staying in the lobby to keep out of the cold, that maybe in some ways would have been okay. But what actually happened is that he did a shit, like a physical. He actually defecated in the lobby. He urinated. He'd been drinking, smoking downstairs in the lobby whilst I'm sleeping upstairs. Now, he had been trying to keep out the cold, and he wanted to connect and speak with his sister who lives downstairs, and they've actually moved out because he's not a very nice person. So they've actually moved out. Now, this happened over the space of a week, and I only found out about it. My intuition was really heightened. I knew something wasn't right, and I told my neighbours, told the authorities, and so on. Phoned the police, and I felt like the police, they did deal with the situation, but they didn't deal with it, in my opinion, well enough. Because what happened is this person was let off with lots of banter and laughter, even though they know that he's a danger to the public. And I knew that he would come back. I just knew that he was going to come back. And so what essentially happened is he did come back. I didn't feel safe at all. And so, I stayed at a friend's. But what was amazing through that situation is that I knew it was actually time for me to move on to the next part of my mission, to the next part of my purpose, and the next part of my work, to a much, much kind of deeper level, and maybe to greater audiences and so on. So I'd actually decided through that situation, not because of it, but through that situation, the time has come for me to leave that particular home and to move back to London. So, this situation has required for me to just process it as it's happening, to face any fears that have come up, to face the triggers, and to heal the triggers, and to ask for help, and to know that it's absolutely okay to ask for help. There's no shame at all. And it's been amazing. It's been like everything has been resolved as it's meant to have been resolved in this situation, for the best of all concerned. I'll still be going back. It's still my home. I'm still going to be traveling back to London. I understand the bigger picture of this time frame for myself. And so what it's requiring me to do is to actually change my story, change my ideas that I've had about my business, my ideas that I've had about my purpose and my path. And the universe created a situation which was kind of like this, a bit of a ripple effect, you could say, to help me along the way to where I'm meant to be. Now, if I had, because so if I had reacted in a certain way, the situation could be very, very, very different. Like if I'd stayed, for sure I know that my life was in danger. If I had stayed, then this could have been a very different story, yeah? And what happens with our life situations is that they encourage us to evolve, to grow, to learn, and to continue to have more and more profound trust and faith in the universe, in your soul, in your purpose, in your path. And what happens along that way of that kind of evolution is that your story changes, and your mindset has to change along the way. Your well-being, your mental state and well-being has to progress from this is the situation, this is exactly what it is in this moment, this is what's happening. How am I going to get from there to there? What do I need to do? Not necessarily physically, but mentally. And along this kind of path, imagine like some stepping stones. Along this path, you have got to kind of go with the flow and flow with the changes. And this path here might be certain, and here might be uncertain. You've got to walk your way to that point of that uncertainty and find that comfort in uncertainty. Uncertainty for me personally has always been super exciting. It's the kind of it's where I get to just live as freely and crazily as I do naturally. No plans, literally just going with the universe, taking each moment as it comes and responding to what comes up. That is the gift, to be able to respond to what comes up. And what comes up is always going to require you to change a little bit more, to change and to reach your next level and to evolve. So, as part of today's Mindset Makeover, I want to encourage you to just have a look at some of the stories that have been playing out in your life, some of the ways that you've seen yourself, or maybe the ways that you behave, or a situation that you might be going through, or a job that you might have, a business that you might have, a career, and so on. Or your health, your physical health, and just ask yourself, is this how you want to carry on? Is it time for some change? And if so, what can you do to change and transform? Okay, so those questions are really powerful for you to sit down and work through them and take your time to work through them. You for yourself will discover some really beautiful answers that are going to help you to move on to the next level within yourself, and the next level of your personal evolution and personal growth. So from this first mindset makeover, I hope that you have found this really, really useful. I hope that you stayed until the end. So I'm just trying to get a little bit comfortable, shaking everything up. I would love your feedback. Post below as well. Where are you at with things? Is there something that you want to change within yourself or about yourself? Are you wanting to reinvent yourself? Or have you done so in the past? And what was that process like for you? Post below, stay engaged, stay connected. It's always amazing to speak with you and to be part of this group as well. Life happens, and as much as I, aim to stay consistent, which generally I do, there are times when, the plates will slip and so on. And I've learned over the years, I'm not going to fight that. I'm just going to let it be. At the end of the day, if I'm required to be in a certain place or situation, then I have to work through that. And sometimes my business stuff has to go to one side. But my intention is always to actually be here, to be connected, and to support everybody along the way. So, if today's video has resonated with you, for sure post below and let us know your thoughts. And secondly, as well, if you want to sign up for a breakthrough session, if you'd like to have a one-to-one personal time, personal connection, just to find out where you're at, where you want to go, what's getting in the way, and we'll put together a personal development plan. A lot of personals in there. Personal development blueprint and plan for yourself of how you can progress and how you can take yourself to the next level. Then just send me a message and just say that you'd like to sign up for a breakthrough session, and I will send you my availability. And also as well, if you'd like to sign up for a free downloadable version of my book, 101 Plus Ways to Overcome Life's Biggest Obstacles, which is a guide to handling any problem with ease. There literally are so many strategies in here, so many ways to help you to overcome any challenges that you are currently facing or you might face. Download a free downloadable version from the website link, which I'll put in the caption below. Thank you so much for your time. I really, really appreciate it, and I will catch up with you soon. Bye.